and break down the concept of her earned wisdom. Okay, meaning that the information that you accrue through experience, right? That ability to input that data into your hard drive, that schema, if you will, is super important. But if you never give yourself the chance to experience anything that is even remotely discomforting, then you inevitably run the risk of never experiencing anything in the flesh, in the first person, right? You're constantly putting roadblocks on feeling anything that even remotely will make you uncomfortable. And that's a big L, major L. As a man, you should want to feel as many different emotions as possible in a given day, whether good or bad. And I tell you what, just so you can kind of get an idea of, well, what is her earned wisdom? The reality is that wounded healers are the best healers, meaning if you want to get information from someone, if you want to learn something from someone, learn it from someone that's been in the trenches. You learn about warfare through somebody that was in it rather than somebody that's writing about it, right? In this case, think of you. I would rather get the stories from a veteran than JD Vance, who was reporting on what the soldiers were doing at the time. I'll take the information from a veteran and I'm soaking it up. I'm taking it for what it is, because this guy was in, skin in the game, was actually there, was face to face with death. That's the example, right? Is the people that actually are in the situation, right? The practitioners rather than the theoreticians. And this goes with anything, any endeavor. I listen to the people that I know for a fact have experienced it firsthand, rather than somebody that's retelling it, fairy tales, if you will. And it goes with anything. I give you more examples right now. Think to yourself, anybody who's lost weight or put on muscle, those are the people that I think of when I think of wounded healers, right? Is someone that has been able to heal themselves, and in turn they can heal others. I think that's the important, right? You want to hold on to those. But even on a personal level, things like heartbreak, right? You need that to sort of red pill yourself on relationships and women. You absolutely do need that. But you also need that sort of red pill yourself on a lot of things, on your identity related to the work that you do, on the institutions around you, and the way that information is manipulated, and the way that you input that information, and how you deal with it, and those that you deal with on a personal level. Understanding those dynamics is important. And so people that try to run away from heartbreak is crazy, because it's like you're really not allowing yourself to feel those negative emotions, which are super important in terms of your personal development. Excuse me. Here's another example. Someone that was bullied as a youngster inevitably becomes the best comedian, right? The funniest guy in the room, because they have to cope with the circumstances that they're in. And if you never allow yourself to do that, you lose a lot of the insights that can be gleaned from life. Same thing with violence. Like, I think to myself, the people that are most interested in committing acts of violence have never felt it, right? And don't know what it is, and have no idea how ugly it is. They romanticize the notion. And like, I remember I was driving and some guy he wouldn't let me into the lane. So I kind of just got in front of him. I was like, well, I got to get off. This is my exit. And he starts honking at me, and then he pulls to the side and then gets in front of me, flips me off. And then I pull off to the side, and then he flips me off again. And I'm just laughing, because I'm like, you really think that you flipping me off is going to somehow whip me up into a frenzy and I'm going to get upset, when that's not the case at all. I mean, the one that looks like a buffoon is you for getting so upset about that. And that's the thing. I mean, those kind of examples show you it's like you can't shirk from conflict. You can't run away from yourself. And you got to be able to, and this is one of the things that comes with experience, right, is pattern recognition. If I see a scenario in which I've been in before, I'm more adept at figuring out what's going to happen next, potentially, and being able to swerve sort of the potholes, if you will, in life, and trying to get away from from that stuff as much as possible, or at least avoid it if need be, right? Or at least anticipate when I see problems arise. Just having that twitch reaction to things um, is part of that hurt earned wisdom, and unfortunately, it does hurt at the time, but then it leaves you better than it found you, and I think that's what you want to take away. So all these young guys that are constantly, they're vigilantes, right? They don't want to feel anything remotely discomforting. Those guys are in serious trouble. And if you find yourself always trying to sidestep anything that may make you uncomfortable, then you need to have a real honest conversation with yourself and think like, why am I so afraid? Why am I so scared of these things, right? This is part and parcel of being a man, of becoming a man, is facing these uncomfortable situations and dealing with them, and learning how to troubleshoot in real time is a super important thing to do. As much as it feels uncomfortable, it's very necessary for your growth and development, and you'll be better for it. And in turn, you could actually become a person that people look for for support, for lending a helping hand. You want to be that person. If anything, I think it should be in your interest to want to be somebody that people look towards, people look for, people seek out. That's a great place to be. It's a good position to be in. That type of responsibility for any guy is worthy of accolades. So anyhow, that's the whole concept of hurt earned wisdom. Go out and figure out how you can accrue more of that as you go through life, as opposed to always trying to manufacture as much consent as possible, and instead try to manufacture as much chaos as possible, so you can see how you react and how you deal with adversity and surprise and sort of these kind of things. I think that's a super important task that all young men should try to pursue. Anyhow, I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.